shouldn't be showing you this ahead of time,
You don't
but
have
you
to.
know.
You don't have to.
No one's going to see it before the play.
No one's gonna see the play.
The actors have a major challenge up ahead of them. There's really no way to prepare for it. They've been up since, whatever, 10, 11 this morning. You can't prepare for being up for 36, 40 hours. Read the play 13 years ago, and at the end of Ionesco's script, it starts over with the Martins playing the Smiths' roles for a couple of lines, so you get the idea, and then the curtain gently falls, as it says in the script. So immediately when I read it, I was like, wow, what if it just went over again? The Martins played the Smiths, and then later on, the people that played the Smiths could come in as the Martins. So that seems like an obvious choice to me, and being Brat, we followed through. I think it's an idea that anyone would have, but they would go, oh, wouldn't that be funny? And we actually did it.
What I noticed in their performances when I went in at 3 o'clock in the morning at the Wilma Theater, what seemed like an elite group of athletes that had all come together for this team effort to do this show. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, the quality of acting was just as high, and their commitment was just as strong as when they started out.
Today's actually when we're starting the rehearsal process, yes. So I don't know. I want to start with not a totally clean slate, but it's not really remounting the same production. It's a new cast, except for the fire chief and the maid, Jess Conta and Nathan Holt, we're happy to have back.
But the maid and the fire chief are really, you know.
Well, we have the Goldilocks roles, yes? Not too big, not too small, just right. First pick of the food in the green room, just right.
Yeah, I think the most satisfying feeling was just having accomplished it without going to sleep ever. I resisted the temptation to nap, and I think that really allowed the brain to go crazier than I was expecting it would.
And I think that the key to absurdism is the tragedy of it, but these people are desperately trying to communicate, and it devolves into non sequiturs, and it's about the monotony of life and the repetition. So I think that our production is justified by absurdism in general and Ionesco's concept, and it becomes more and more absurd in a genuine way because the actors are having trouble communicating and they are disoriented and they're trying to be proper and things are falling apart.
But we have this sort of the new up-and-coming crop of young, hungry, talented actors who have started to do quite a bit of work at other theaters, and we've kind of grabbed them before they become equity, since this is a show that equity will not allow.
The new cast is slamming, so I'm looking forward to working with some of these young up-and-comers who we found for this incarnation.
Myself and Jess are back, so it'll have an old familiar feel, but because the four biggest parts in the show are all new people, it's going to be very new and exciting as well.
The same show. This is a different show every single time they perform it. Per hour, it's a different show.
Alrighty, I'm going to see the opening show at 8 o'clock this evening. I'm going to come back in basically 3 a.m. with all the staff from my bars. And then I'm definitely going to see the last show also and see how. I think that'll be an interesting treat.
And it's not just a spectacle, it's a spectacle that really serves the text in bold new ways. So I'm really proud of the show because it takes a really well-loved piece and spins it on its ear in a really legitimate but really bizarre way.
Just like the Rolling Stones, yes, it's definitely the final time that we are going to go out on tour with this show.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that thing of the Rolling Stones' last tour or whatever.
That's what Michael Alltop said.
Yeah, really? That's funny, because I don't think we've said that to each other. Do you use Rolling Stones?
He said Rolling Stones final.
That's really funny.
When I tell people it's an easy sell, because it's really ridiculous, and you're not going to see anything like it anywhere else. So yeah, they should see it, but they shouldn't take my word for it. Let the premise entice you.
You gotta see it to believe it.